Start as Chaos Demon and join the chat group. Chapter 1 I am the Time Demon. In the early days of Hongmen, the chaos was not yet opened, and it was filled with violent chaotic airflow. The whole space was grey and hazy like an egg. In the chaos, there was no counting of years. This scene lasted for who knows how many epochs. Until a certain moment, countless chaos origins were born in the boundless chaos. These chaos origins began to absorb chaotic airflow and form vortices in the chaos. At this time, a slightly dim light flashed in the chaos, and then merged into a blue stone, and then everything returned to peace. After who knows how many epochs, these chaos origins no longer absorbed chaotic air, as if they had reached saturation. Boom, boom, boom. A series of sounds came from the depths of chaos, making the originally calm chaos appear some unusual breath. Huh? Where is this? I remember that I seemed to be drinking before. What's going on now? A voice came from the blue stone, and the person who spoke seemed a little confused. What is this? Then, a huge memory poured into the mind of the person who spoke, making him couldn't help but exclaim. This. I actually became the Chaos Demon God? Or one of the top demon gods, the Time Demon God. The voice in the blue stone was extremely shocked, and it was obvious that this news shocked him. Well, in the past and present lives, all the past has disappeared. From now on, I will be the Time Demon God, the Taoist Shichen. After a long time, the voice in the blue stone, no, the Time Demon God Shichen spoke. Boom boom. As if to prove the birth of a new demon god, the Dao felt it, and there was an explosion in the chaos, and the Dao recognized Shishin's identity. Shishin made a Dao oath, and then stopped talking, and began to work hard to digest the gifts brought by the Dao. Each of the Chaos Demon gods born in the chaos is unique and born to master a Dao law. And the time law is one of the top laws. As a person who traveled through time in the future, Shishin knew that he would be in danger in the future. After countless Yuan Pangu, who mastered the law of force, will open the sky and prove the Dao. And the demon gods like me will be instructed by the great Dao to stop the other party from proving the Dao, and eventually end up disappearing into thin air, which is not what I want to see. Pangu's method of proving the Dao is too extreme. He wants to recreate the earth, water, wind, and fire in the chaos. At that time, the great Dao rules will fade, and the Chaos Demon God will not be able to survive, so the great Dao will stop it. As long as the opening of the sky can be stopped this time, even if the prehistoric world is successfully opened up, the Chaos Demon God will not be affected by the loss of Pangu's prehistoric world. Although I don't want to lie in this muddy water, if there is really no way, I can only stop the other party. After all, if the great Dao rules fade, it will be difficult for me to survive. In any case, it's better to stop it myself, but I can't be too stubborn. Let other Chaos Demon gods take the lead, and there is no need to put myself in it. As the saying goes, it's better to die than to die. Anyway, the great Dao will take action, and there are so many Chaos Demon gods to hold it, so it's quite easy for me to fish. An unknown amount of time had passed, and a chaotic aura was surging above the blue stone, as if something was about to appear. After a long time, a figure emerged from the blue stone, turning into a handsome young man with sword-like eyebrows and starry eyes. The young man was dressed in a white Taoist robe, and it seemed as if the long river of time was flowing in his eyes. At this time, the blue stone changed and turned into a roulette-shaped treasure, which was held in the hands of the young man. The young man was naturally Taoist Shichen. At this moment, he was playing with the roulette in his hand, with a smile on his face, and he seemed very satisfied. This is my companion magic weapon, the Time Wheel, which is at the level of Chaos Supreme Treasure. It looks pretty good. Shichen was overjoyed. He was worthy of being a top Chaos Demon God, and his companion magic weapons were all Chaos Supreme Treasures. After putting away the Time Wheel, Shichen found a direction and wandered aimlessly. Now that I have reached the One Yuan Club, it is very difficult to move forward. Let's find some treasures first. Shichen didn't want to continue practicing. Now that he had entered the One Yuan Club, that is, the heavenly Dao realm, it was impossible to go further without countless Yuan and opportunities. He simply wandered around in the chaos. One Yuan Club, that is, the heavenly Dao realm, is already the endpoint of many Chaos Demon gods. Even Pangu, the great god, ended up turning into the prehistoric world in order to enter the last step of the Dao realm. So Shichen was not in a hurry to improve his strength. There was no point in being anxious. He just sensed that the chaos was relatively calm now, and there were not many demon gods born. Only Pangu, him, and Yang Mei, who were among the top demon gods, were born. After all, they were the top demon gods, and their talents were not comparable to other demon gods. In the chaos, there is no counting of years. Shichen has collected a lot of treasures in the chaos, including countless spiritual treasures and many top spiritual roots, which makes him quite satisfied. In these endless years, Shichen occasionally practiced and traveled, and his cultivation has reached the peak of the heavenly Dao realm. He is only one step away from taking the last step and achieving the realm that countless Chaos Demon gods want to reach, the Great Dao realm. Unfortunately, even though Shichen is gifted and born to control the Great Dao of time, he still can't grasp the opportunity to advance to the Great Dao. Shichen has a feeling that his opportunity to advance to the Great Dao realm may be with Pangu. Thinking of Pangu, Shishen's heart is a little heavy. This is a mountain weighing on the hearts of all Chaos Demon gods. In the countless years in the chaos, he has fought with many Chaos Demon gods. After all, Chaos Demon gods are not a loving family. Many of them kill and devour each other, which is not new among Chaos Demon gods. Shichen has also fought with Pangu. The two fought for a full 10,000 years. In the end, Shichen lost by one move and left with hatred. That battle made the whole chaos tremble, the chaotic energy rolled back, and the laws of time and power collided, as if to repeat the earth, water, wind, and fire. It also made many Chaos Demon gods who sensed this battle secretly shocked, and felt that the two top Chaos Demon gods were indeed powerful. My one way, maybe I can go and observe Pangu. When he is promoted to the Deo realm in the future, I only need to observe his method, and maybe I can deduce my Deo, and then the Deo will be completed. Shichen had a plan in his mind, knowing that his hope of being promoted to the Deo can only be on Pangu. If he were to create the world like Pangu, although he could do it, he didn't want to do it. After all, it was too dangerous and would attract the intervention of the Great Deo. 3,000 Great Deos, each of which could achieve the Great Deo, but the difficulty was comparable to creating the world. The Great Deo was impartial and would not cause people to despair. Even when Pangu created the world, there was a chance of success, but unfortunately he failed in the end. In the chaos, there was no counting of years. Endless years had passed, and Shichen's realm remained at the peak of the heavenly Deo realm, without any progress. On this day, Shichen, who was traveling in the chaos, suddenly sensed an astonishing fluctuation emerging from the depths of the chaos. Then, an angry shout spread throughout the chaos. I, Pangu, now intend to create the world and reenact the chaos to achieve the realm of the Great Deo. Then there were bursts of roaring sounds that spread throughout the chaos, allowing all the chaos demons to sense them. Is it finally about to start? I'll go, but for safety's sake, I'll let my Dharmakaya go. Listening to Pangu's voice, Shichen understood that he had finally waited for this day. All chaos demon gods, including Shichen, received instructions from the Great Deo to stop Pangu from opening the sky, otherwise all chaos demon gods would have no chance to enter the Great Deo. Without much hesitation, Shichen used his own magic power to condense a Dharmakaya and ran directly to Pangu's location. At the same time, his own body was also retreating madly, rushing towards the depths of chaos far away from Pangu. Start as Chaos Demon and join the chat group. Chapter 2 Creation of the World. In order to prevent other Chaos Demon gods from seeing it, Shichen deliberately used the law of time to condense a Dharma body from the past time, which was almost equivalent to his past self. For Shichen, who controlled the Great Deo of time, this was the real other self, but his strength was slightly weaker than his original body. After 1,000 years, Shichen's Dharma body finally arrived at Pangu's location. At this time, there were already thousands of Chaos Demon gods around Pangu, each of whom was 10,000 feet tall, strange, and terrifying. Seeing Shichen coming, the Chaos Demon gods couldn't help but take a step back, obviously knowing his name. You are finally here. It seems that I am not alone in proving the Tao this time. Seeing Shichen appear, Pangu, who was sitting cross-legged, finally spoke. This was the only opponent he recognized. Although they were both Chaos Demon gods, there was only one person who could be recognized by the first Chaos Demon god, and that was Taoist Shichen. Do you know that you will not succeed in proving the Tao this time? Even if the road ahead is difficult, we will come to stop you. Shichen spoke slowly. Of course I know, but what I fear more is that I will never be able to attain the Great Deo. For countless years, I can only think of this way to attain the Great Deo. Even if you try to stop me, I am not afraid. Pangu smiled when he heard this, and said calmly. In that case, we have no choice but to stop you. Shichen knew that the other party would not give up, and he just said it casually. After all, his chance to attain the Great Deo was still with Pangu. After that, he united all the Chaos Demon gods and launched an attack on Pangu. Haha, come on, look at my Pangu axe, open the sky. Pangu laughed loudly, grabbed the Pangu axe beside him, and the law of power surged on it, and a terrifying attack was launched. Shichen was shocked when he saw this, and quickly dodged to the side and avoided the attack. But a Chaos Demon god beside him was not so lucky. He was directly beaten into nothingness by this opening of the sky and disappeared in the chaos from then on. Roar. The Chaos Demon gods were not afraid. They were born in the chaos and had come all the way through killing. How could they be afraid of death? Moreover, compared to death, they were more afraid that their cultivation would not be able to improve in the future. The hatred of blocking the way is more serious than killing one's father and taking one's wife in the world. Shichen cast one law after another, and the huge time law surged. Endless visions appeared, carrying an unmatched offensive to kill Pangu. And Pangu would naturally not surrender. He waved the giant axe in his hand again and again, and endless chaotic energy surged, and the earth, water, fire, and wind continued to evolve. This battle lasted for tens of thousands of years. Almost all of the 3,000 Chaos Demon gods were blown up, leaving only the top 10 demon gods such as Shichen, Yangmei Patriarch, Five Elements Patriarch, and Yin and Yang Patriarch. It seems that you have failed. I will achieve the Great Deo. Pangu was also scarred at this time, but his eyes were bright and he stared at the demon gods in front of him and said, It's still unknown who will win or lose. Chaos Demon God snorted coldly, unwilling to admit it. As he said that, he attacked Pangu again. Seeing this, the other demon gods no longer hesitated and attacked Pangu again. Thousands of years passed, and except for Pangu, only Shichen and Yangmei were left on the battlefield, and almost all other demon gods died. Even if they didn't die, the demon gods' bodies were blown up, and it was unknown how many years they would have to recuperate in the chaos before they could be reborn. At this time, Pangu had successfully opened up the prehistoric world, but he didn't have the strength to support its evolution. And Shichen and Yangmei were all seriously injured. Because Shichen himself was a little bit lazy, even though his body was seriously injured and there were signs of collapse, he was trying his best to maintain it. However, his current appearance was seen by Pangu and Yangmei, and they knew everything in their hearts. Yangmei was in a more miserable state. The Chaos Demon God's body was directly blown up. Even if he recovered from his injuries later, this demon god's body would no longer exist. The two looked at Shichen and were finally moved. I didn't expect that you would have the means in the end, Shichen. Pangu looked at Shichen's Dharma body that was about to collapse and said slowly, Shichen, I didn't expect you to be like this. Yangmei was also horrified. She didn't expect that this guy would send a Dharma body after she and others fought hard, and she and others hadn't discovered it before. It wasn't until now that his Dharma body was about to collapse that she understood everything. I just don't want to wade into this muddy water easily. With the power of you and the great Dao, it is enough to stop Pangu Dao. Shichen smiled and didn't deny it. After all, it was he who pitted Yang Mei and others. Yang Mei saw that things had come to this point, and it was useless for him to stay here. Anyway, Pangu couldn't achieve the great Dao now, and he was seriously injured, and there was an unknown Shichen body. He simply turned around and fled to the depths of chaos. Shichen and Pangu did not stop her, or they could not stop her, and let Yang Mei leave directly. Shichen, promise me, help me take care of the prehistoric world. Looking at the direction Yang Mei left, Pangu knew that he could not achieve the great Dao, so he simply pleaded with Shichen. Don't worry, I won't let your efforts go to waste. Shichen looked solemn and slowly promised Pangu. In this way, it can be. Pangu said with relief. After saying that, Pangu's breath gradually dissipated, slowly fell into the new prehistoric world, and his body gradually evolved into all things in the prehistoric world. After watching Pangu's body transform into all things, Shichen felt something in his heart, and directly dispersed this Dharma body, and his consciousness returned to his body. In the depths of the endless chaos, there is an unknown place, where the huge body of the demon god Shichen stands, and the endless laws of time surge around. I don't know how long it has been, maybe 1 yuan, or maybe just a moment. Shichen slowly opened his eyes. The path of Taoist Pangu to prove the Dao is indeed beneficial to me. Now I have the hope of proving the Dao, and then I will be on par with the Dao. Shishen's eyes were filled with joy, as if endless stars flashed. Without saying anything more, he seized the time to start practicing, striving to prove the Dao as soon as possible. In the chaos, there is no counting of years, and I don't know how many yuan we have passed. In the depths of the chaos, a loud noise came, echoing in the entire chaos. Boom boom. At this time, the boundless purple gold airflow surged, so that the entire chaos was reflected under this boundless purple gold air. Then, the entire chaos seemed to be trembling, or in joy, and the boundless chaotic air rolled. Ha ha ha, after countless yuan, I finally achieved the great Dao. A joyful voice came, floating in the entire chaos, and gradually spread to the depths of chaos. At this time, the great Dao appeared, the sky was full of flowers, the ground was full of golden lotus, endless spiritual energy was flowing around the time, the merits of the great Dao were rolling, and various laws flashed around it. At this time, the great Dao came to congratulating someone for achieving the great Dao. The great Dao is fair. Although Shishen's achievement of the Dao is not as difficult as Pangu, the suffering is not worth telling to outsiders, and there is also the great Dao blocking it. But as long as you can achieve the great Dao will come to congratulate you on your appearance and send you endless rewards. The merits of the great Dao are just pediatrics. The great Dao that Shishen achieved is not the great Dao that has always existed. He achieved a realm. The great Dao is a general will. It can be incarnated into thousands or only one. It is everywhere and nowhere to be found. It is the most perfect existence in the world and the existence that gave birth to chaos and the chaos demon god. Start as chaos demon and join the chat group. Chapter 3 Chat group of all heavens and worlds. Now, it's time to go to the ancient world and have a look. When he successfully attained the great Dao, he was in a good mood. He casually grabbed a chaotic beast from the realm of heaven as a mount, and then rode directly away from the chaos. Chaos beasts are not chaos demon gods. They are just born in chaos. However, they are not as gifted as chaos demon gods, and it is extremely difficult for them to be born with intelligence. Long after Shichen left, a helpless sigh came from deeper in the chaos. I didn't expect that fellow Taoist Shichen had already attained the great Dao. This was something that fellow Taoist Pangu had not accomplished back then. Poor Taoist, now I haven't recovered from my injuries yet, alas. Immediately, the entire chaos returned to calm. Time moved forward throughout the chaos, and after several years, we finally arrived at the chaos where the prehistoric era was. Looking at the world created by Pangu, Shichen felt that he was finally ahead of all the chaos demon gods. The power of the great avenue around him emerged, directly wrapping the time and heading towards the prehistoric world. Even the prehistoric heavenly law could not detect it. As for the ferocious beast from before, he had already stewed it and eaten it. He had just come out of seclusion and wanted to satisfy his appetite. When the time came to the ancient world, the spirit of the great saint was swept away, and the whole matter of the ancient world was known. Now is the time when ferocious beasts are weighing the calamity, and there are ferocious beasts all over the ancient wilderness. He has no plans to show up, and plans to retire in the ancient wilderness from now on. Arriving at the coast of the East China Sea, I directly found the Penglai Immortal Island hidden on the East China Sea, easily broke through the innate restrictions on it, and placed the dojo here. As for the future Duke Dong and others who lost Penglai Immortal Island, that has nothing to do with him. Hiding Penglai Immortal Island again, Shichen went straight to the center of the island, and with a wave of his hand, a palace of chaos spiritual treasure level appeared, the Vientiane Palace. It was what he obtained when he traveled to chaos, and now he has a use for it. It is indeed one of the top dojos in the ancient world. Although it is useless to me, the spiritual energy here is simply too strong for the creatures in the ancient world. Shichen nodded with satisfaction. He casually inspired 2 strange beasts and transformed into 2 Taoist boys, a boy and a girl. You will be called Chiang and Baiu. From now on, you will take good care of Penglai Island for me without making any mistakes. I will obey the will of the great master. The 2 Taoist boys knelt down and said. After looking at the strength of the 2 Dao boys, they only had the cultivation level of Jinxian, which was really embarrassing for him, so he pointed out. This is a skill. You can practice it here when you have nothing to do. Improve your cultivation level as soon as possible. Don't lose my face. Thank you, sir, for the reward. The 2 boys thanked them again. After waving his hand and asking him to leave, she arrived at the Vientiane Palace and began to rest. Ever since I knew I was in a prehistoric world, I have never had a moment's rest, and there is always a sense of urgency. Now everything is empty, everything is over, and you can take a good rest. After the sleep, Shichen slept for a Yuan Hui. It's still comfortable to sleep. Aren't you tired of practicing all day long? After a Yuan Hui, Shichen finally woke up in the Wangxiang Palace. I didn't expect that I actually slept with a Yuan Hui, but there are still ferocious beasts dominating outside, so let's just ignore them. Shichen looked up, directly penetrated the endless restrictions, looked at the ancient land, and found that it was still a ferocious beast measuring calamity. Among them, just ignore it? Ding, the chat group of all worlds invites you to join. Do you want to join? Huh? What? A voice sounded in his mind, making Shichen slightly stunned, but he didn't care. He didn't feel anything that could threaten him. Time passed in his eyes, and he directly saw through the essence of this so-called chat group, which was just an incomplete Deo. Although it is an incomplete avenue, it has the power to break apart dimensions. Now it has turned into this chat group, and luckily, Shichen was invited in. It must be the unlucky guy who was killed by fellow Taoist Pangu with an axe back then. Not only was he not resurrected, but only a broken avenue was left. I happened to be idle and bored, so I simply clicked yes. All heavens and all realms chat group. Ding, the Chaos Demon God and the Saint of the Avenue of Time joined this group. Tony Stark, newcomers are welcome to join. The men are hot and the women are hot. Uchiha Madara, newcomer, do you want to dance too? Conan, you're new, please introduce yourself. Wu Lyoki, would you like a new hairstyle? I'm a senior hairstylist at Daviajian Hair Salon. Looking at the somewhat familiar style of the Penguin chat group, Shichen's memories that had been sealed in dust for countless Yuan Hui sessions were finally opened. Shichen, I just slept for a while and found such a gadget. It's interesting. Tony Stark. Uchiha Madara. Conan. Wu Lyoki. As soon as Shichen spoke, the chat group suddenly became quiet, feeling that he couldn't keep up with this person's rhythm. Conan, damn it, you're a Yuan Hui. You're a big boss who just came out of nowhere. Tony Stark, I seem to have seen something in a certain big country in the east. The Yuan Hui seems to be 129,600 years old. Uchiha Madara, arrogant words. Wu Lyoki, shivering, boss, are you kidding me? Shichen, so that's it? I already know the ability of this chat group. I didn't expect that this small incomplete avenue would have such a special function. Conan, so the boss's world is different from ours? Shivering.jpg. Ding, the chat group of all heavens and worlds now has 5 members, and the chat group positions, chat group levels, chat group red envelopes, chat group sign in, chat group store and other functions are enabled. Ding, congratulations to Shichen for becoming the chat group leader, and other members will automatically upgrade to administrators. Tony Stark, are so many functions enabled for newcomers? And why am I not the group leader? Conan, shit, you should look at the chat group level before you speak. Tony Stark, say it again, my name is Tony Stark, not Tony shit. Tony said angrily, but he still took a look at the chat group level, and this look almost made his eyes pop out. Chat group level, 3 realms of human level, 1st level, 2nd level, 3rd level, 6 realms of immortal level, celestial immortal, true immortal, golden immortal, Tei golden immortal, Elder golden immortal, quasi-sage, entering the Deo, Yunyuan de Logo Jinxian, sage, Yunyuan Wuda de Logo Jinxian, heavenly Deo realm, Deo realm. The weakest one at present is Conan, who is just a 1st level rookie. Tony himself is 2nd level, and Wu Lyoki is 2nd level, fig. I don't know what it means, but this Uchiha Madara is actually a 3rd level one. As for the new guy who looks awesome, it is really awesome. He is actually the highest level of Deo realm. He doesn't even know what Deo is. After everyone read it, they were silent. Shichen, why don't you talk? Is there something wrong? After staying in chaos for so long, Shichen always felt that his words were somewhat out of tune with them. Although he is already an old antique, his heart is not old. At least he looks very young. Uchiha Madara, you are the real god, I would like to call you the strongest. Uchiha Madara spoke first, and he was a licker from the beginning. They all came in before, but it has only been a few days. However, after being influenced by Tony and Conan, this Madara also has a tendency to chat in groups. Tony Stark, excuse me, are you the real god? Conan, boss, please take me with you. Wu Lyoki, although I don't know why, I feel so powerful. Start as Chaos Demon and join the chat group. Chapter 4 Chatting with the Crowd. Ding, Shichen uploaded a memory, all members can watch it? Everyone clicked in directly after hearing the sound, and found that it was a big battle, and the 2 sides fighting were Pangu and the 3,000 Chaos Demon Gods. Each demon god was more than 10,000 feet tall, and the law surged when he waved his hands, and all kinds of forces that could destroy the world flew. Everyone, kneel down to the boss. Shichen, I am the Chaos Demon God, in charge of the Avenue of Time, you can call me Daezon. Tony Stark, Daezon. Uchiha Madara, Daezon. Wu Lyoki, Daezon. Conan, Daezon. Shichen, let me show you my world. As he said, Shichen directly extracted a world course of the prehistoric world through the long river of time and combined with his own memories. There are also some of his own deeds in it, but he only regards himself as a bystander, which is also the original prehistoric world. Ding, Shichen Daezon uploaded prehistoric world, automatically generated the destiny space, and all members can view it. In an instant, everyone chose to watch. You can enter the destiny space directly, just like watching a movie, and no matter how long you stay in it, it will only take a moment to come out. Tony Stark, so shocking, it turns out that the ancient Chinese legends are all true, such a powerful immortal. Uchiha Madara, compared with the immortals in this world, the so-called 6 paths immortal is just an ant. Wu Lyoki, if I learn these immortal arts, can I become the #1 assassin? Shichen Daezon, I am the demon god who controls the avenue of time. I already know your fate. Do you want to see your future fate? Everyone, I want to see. Everyone said without thinking, nonsense, if you don't want to know your own fate, aren't you a fool? Ding, group leader Shichen has uploaded Iron Man 1-3, Avengers 1-4, Naruto, Assassin Wu Lyoki, and Detective Conan. The Destiny space has been automatically generated. All group members can watch their own Destiny, and they can also edit and open it to other members to watch. Group leader Shichen has received 4,000 chat group points. Everyone saw this and chose to watch their own Destiny space without hesitation. Shua. After a moment, everyone returned to the chat group. Tony Stark, I didn't expect that Tony Stark, would become a hero. It turns out that there are such powerful enemies in the universe. Uchiha Madara, will I fail in the end? Even I didn't notice his little move. Wu Lyoki, I used to be the strongest assassin in Suanwoo country. It turns out that I was so handsome before. Conan, why is my world so weird? It has been so many years, why didn't we feel it? Now that I see my Destiny space, I feel something is wrong. Shichen Daizun, after you have seen your own Destiny, how do you feel? I want to. Tony Stark, I never thought that the world I live in is so dangerous. I will fight so many powerful enemies in the future. Fortunately, I still have companions. Uchiha Madara, thank you for letting me know my Destiny. It seems that my plan needs to be completely changed. Shichen Daizun, you can choose to let other members watch your own Destiny space, so that you will also know each other. Tony did not hesitate to hear this and directly chose to open his Destiny space. Anyway, he had nothing to keep. At most, people would say that he was a playboy before. Uchiha Madara hesitated for a while and chose to open his Destiny space. Although he was a somewhat negative character, for the existence of the group leader who had seen the ups and downs, it would not affect his position in his heart. As for other people, he, Uchiha Madara, did not need to explain to others what he did all his life. As for Conan and Wu Lyoki, they didn't consider it at all. They directly chose to open their own Destiny space, but Conan was quite careful and edited some of his inconvenient privacy. After everyone watched the Destiny space of others, they were all undecided. Tony Stark, old Madara, I didn't expect you to have so many thoughts. But your ninjutsu is quite interesting. I'll give you some of my armors when I have time, and we can exchange them. Uchiha Madara, on the road to realizing your ideal, there will always be sacrifices and plans, but I'm also interested in your armor. Conan, I was just saying that the name Uchiha Madara is familiar. It turns out to be Naruto. I thought I'd seen it. Wu Lyoki, it turns out that the world I live in is very weak. I'd better go get a haircut. Ding, the group owner Shichen has uploaded the technique Beiju Xiangong, free, and got 10,000 group points. All group members can download it. Uploading techniques or props, natural treasures and other things in the chat group can get a certain amount of points. The points can be used to buy things that other members put on the chat group store. After all, not everyone is as arrogant as Shichen and gives them away for free. When everyone saw that it was something sent by the group owner, they chose to download it without thinking twice. The group owner's things are definitely good things. Deozan Shichen, I created a magic technique casually. If you practice it to the highest level, you can achieve sainthood in your physical body. It should be useful to you. Conan, the body becomes holy. Thank you for the reward, Deozan. I decided to cultivate immortality in the future. Everyone, thank you for the reward, Deozan. The chat group was silent for a long time, but this silence was soon interrupted. Tony Stark, Deozan, I can't seem to cultivate. Wu Lyoki, I can't either. Although I can feel the energy, it's hard to cultivate it. Conan, I can't seem to cultivate it either, crying, Uchiha Madara, ditto. Shichen Daizun, I was negligent. Your world has no spiritual energy and can't cultivate. Wait for me. After saying that, Shichen left the chat group and improved the technique. Ding, group leader Shichen uploaded 8-9 mysterious art, improved, all group members can download it. Shichen Daizun, after the improvement, the energy of the technique can be absorbed through food, preferably old herbs or powerful beasts. Tony Stark, this is good, I will go and buy a medicinal material company, it should be enough for the time being. As expected of a dog tycoon, he directly bought a medicinal material company. Uchiha Madara, fierce beast? I don't know if the tailed beast in our world can be used. Uchiha Madara had a plan in mind, thinking that he would catch a tailed beast and try it out. Anyway, the tailed beast was a toy for him and Hashirama Senju back then. Conan, I'm just a little detective, and I'm still in elementary school. How can I get medicinal materials to practice? Wu Lyoki, it's so troublesome. Davio still owes money to the divine doctor. How can he let me buy things? Looking at the current situation of the group members, Shichen thought about it and grabbed a handful of fairy grass from the fairy island outside. Although it is just a fairy grass that can be found everywhere, it is also the most top-level treasure for other worlds. Ding, the group leader Shichen Daizun sent a fairy grass red envelope X1. When everyone saw that there was still a red envelope, they started to grab the red envelope mode. Conan, thank you Daizun for the fairy grass. Uchiha Madara, thank you Daizun. Tony Stark, thank you Daizun for the red envelope. I will get you a few battle armors later. Although they are useless to you, they can be used as toys. Wu Lyoki, thank you Daizun. Shichen Daizun, it's okay, it's just useless weeds at my door. Everyone. Shichen Daizun, although that's the case, the energy in it is still very huge for you. You must be careful when taking it, so as not to explode and die in the end. After a pause, Shichen spoke again, okay, don't disturb me if you have nothing to do. You can take care of yourself. The energy of these fairy grasses is enough for you to practice to the entry level. After speaking, Shichen went offline directly.